talking about this big question: is fish farming still affordable in 2026? I mean, is farming still profitable in 2026? This is an interesting one, and not only because it's interesting, but because it is interesting and it is also the talk of this season. And this is important for everyone to know this. Um, is fish farming still really profitable? If you are just joining on us, please engage in the chat, engage in the chat, engage in the chat, engage in the chat. So let's know where you are joining from. Let's know your country. Let's know your state, your country, your name possibly. Let's get to know you so that we have very interesting conversations today. We are talking about whether fish farming is still profitable, and it's going to be a really amazing one today. I want you to be rest assured that today is going to be amazing. Yes, yes. If you're just joining us, please engage in the chat. I want to know where you are joining from. I like to know where you are joining from. So we um, begin. And I quickly, it's going to be a brief session. I'm going to quickly set the tone for things so that we have young Lewis. Hello, young Lewis from Kenya. Good to have you. Welcome to this live session. My name is Taiwo and I am your fish expert. And today we are considering this very important topic. This is Gabriel from Lagos, Nigeria. Good to have you, Ladon Farms. Good to have you. We're going to have an amazing session today because if this is one interesting question, it is also a question that is the talk of the season. And this is why it is important for us to delve into serious conversations like this. People don't really want to talk about things. Some people actually think that fish farming is no longer profitable. Some others think that it is still profitable. But what is the real truth about it? What are the things that will really let us know that yes, truly fish farming is profitable or not? All of these things are what we want to dive in today. Yes, and we won't be missing words. Of course, we'll be doing a conversational discussion such that you also be sharing your experiences, so you let us know in the chat. So I want to know, let me know if you're an aspiring farmer, let me know if you're a practicing farmer, let me know if you are a an investor, you are an experienced farmer. Let's know so we can all share ideas here. This is going to be very conversational. And you know why I love this topic? It is very apt. One, it is very for minded people. And three, it is also the talk of the season. So let's face it, it's actually a reality. Welcome, Blossom. Thank you. Thank you for engaging. I want everybody, I see a number of persons on the chat. So please engage in the comments. Engage in this comment. Joining from South Africa. Good to have you. Let's know your name. Let's know where you are joining us from. We are going to have an amazing time today. Like I said, we are talking about this big and important topic. Is fish farming still profitable in 2026? Or let's put it this way, where is the money? I like that part. Where is the money? I mean, we are doing fish business, we are farming fish. Where is the money really going to? Where is the money really going? Can somebody answer in the chat? Where is the money really going? Good evening, Mr. Hey, Diary of a Farmer's Daughter. Good to have you here. Diary of a Farmer's Daughter. I think you missed our last session. I didn't see you on the live. I I noticed I didn't see you because you are regular here, but I didn't see you in a live session last week. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. So we are discussing about if fish species, if fish farming business is still profitable in 2026. I mean, in case you don't know, there are days that fish farming was profitable. But what we are considering now is that hope we are not thriving on old glory. And we are going to, dissect all of these things today. Someone says monthly expenses. Yes, because once monthly expenses come, the way money goes out, hope is not more frequent than the way money comes in. because actually that's the case in many farms. The way money goes out, money, can you imagine? You buy feed every day, or even if you stock you fish feed every day, it means that money goes out every day. So we really want to see, is it still profitable, or are there things we should do if it must be profitable, or should we leave some aspects? These are the things we really want to be diving in today. So where is the money? I first want to hear from you. Where is the money? Okay, let's do a quick survey. Is fish farming still profitable? This one, there is no right or wrong answer. Okay, so two things: is fish farming still profitable for you? Do you think in 2026 fish farming is still profitable? And secondly, where is the money? I want to see you in the engagements quickly between the next 30 seconds. I want to see you. Yeah. Bring the chat on. Bring the chat on. Yes, I'm expecting our comments to come in. We are talking about this big question: is fish farming still profitable in 2026? Is it a business that we should still be doing in the year 2026? Hope we are not thriving on old glory and the records of the past. And then where is the money in fish farming? So I'm actually still expecting to see questions, to see your contributions, and if you have any question around this, bring it on. You know, one thing is that there is a way question gears the conversation around and makes it more fascinating and very more interesting. That's one of the reasons I love sessions, just like last week's sessions. It was so amazing because the questions were coming in. So Lado Farm says, I will be trying fish farming newly with the idea I will get here. That's amazing. You see, if you want to start fish farming and you are thriving on some kind of information like what we are dishing here, you see, your speed will be very fast. I'm telling you the truth. People who are making results is not because they are better than you. It's because they actually know some things that the others don't know. But these are the things that people have worked for. We have lost some money to it. We have done some, spend some years of experience on it. And even at that, we have come here to give you free of charge. You see, this is shortcut. This is how people have shortcuts that in the few number of years they begin to feel like pro. So what should you do? Don't joke with all this kind of information we bring here. In the Pisces Academy Mentorship Program, we'll be delving into interesting conversations, and registration have been closed. And applications have been shortlisted. Wow. We have, in that mentorship program, we have participants from 9 countries. It's going to be amazing, and it's starting 1st July. Orientation is this week, 4th July, and it's going to be amazing. Okay, now let's dive into the real deal of. So I was saying, for you Ladon farms who will be trying fish farming newly, with the idea you get here, don't joke with this information. Also on this channel, there are some videos specified about mortality, about what you should do first, about how to do fish business well, and all of these live sessions. Watch all of them. Before you know it, you become a guru and you begin to act like a pro in fish farming. So US Managoro says, I just got in, about to harvest first batch, but I think it becomes profitable when I get closer to farming like 22,000 fish. Hi! I love this. And one of the things I like conversations around this is because one of the things you just mentioned is centered about one of the things I would love to say today. Can I give you, since you mentioned Usmana Goro, since you mentioned, can I give you a very quick secret and deep reality about fish farming now? See, there are people who are, let me put it this way. The people who are making profit in fish farming business, I want to structure it. Okay. Let me give an illustration. This is farmer A. This is farmer B. Farmer A stocks 500 pieces of fish, and I will get there. I just want to give you this analogy first. I'll get there. I'll explain to you why in the course of this session. Farmer A stocks 500 pieces of fish. Farmer B stocks 20,000 pieces of fish. If farmer A makes profit from his 500 pieces of fish and farmer B did not make profit, he just made maybe a few more profits, this guy farmer B did not farm for business. Do you know what he did? He only used fish farming as a saving mechanism. But this guy that stocked only 500 but made more profit, he didn't do saving plan, he didn't do a saving mechanism, he actually did a business. And this is the analogy, what I just gave you between farmer A and farmer B is the analogy between fish farmers and fish fish farmers, fish business farmers. Yes, there is a difference between fish farmers and fish business farmers. Yes, there is a difference between fish farming and fish business farming. Farmer B in that my analogy is doing fish farming business. In that my analogy, farmer A is a fish farmer. So to be a fish farm, to be doing fish farming business, you have to be two things. You have to be a good fish farmer and you have to be a good business person. All right, that's what makes you a good. Oh, I love how questions are coming interestingly, and I think we should just ride on this. We should just ride on this. My questions is it profitable for the fish farmer, the feed company, or the fish? So I take it from the last one when you say all for the fish. We as humans, fish has life that we respect. That's why we treat them with utmost care and respect. But hey, we have dominion over them. So the fish does not have dominion over us. So if anybody should be getting profit, it is us, man. It is us humans, okay? So because this question is saying, is fish profitable for fish farmer? Is it profitable for feed company? Is it profitable for the fish? We are helping the fish to grow, but so in the end, we can make sure that fish does not go in extinction. You see, in a way, we are helping the fish. And secondly, so we can make money. Ah, yes, I won't do without mentioning that. What am I saying? We are in this for business. We are in this for profit. We want to make some good right there, okay? Yes. Now, is it profitable for fish farmers who are rearing the fish, or is it profitable for feed companies? I would like to tell you that fish feed companies are actually making good money, especially if you are trusted in the market. Yeah, even with small margin, if you have a good wide and range of customers, you can make really good money. But I need you to know that it is very and highly capital intensive, and good production of feed requires good technicalities, good technical people, because there are people who are actually making the mistake trying to do feed, but they are not obeying the principles, and that's why you will see that the feed they produce from such are not really giving good results. But we will get there. Okay. So where is the money in fish farming? I want you to know, the first thing I want to know, that it is possible to do fish farming and lose money, versus it is possible for you to do fish farming and make profits. So you see, this is the first thing I want us to establish here. It is possible to do fish farming and make money. Second, it is possible to do fish farming and lose money. You can lose money, you can make money. But what is affecting whether you are making money or you are losing money? And we will get there. The first thing I want you to know is that fish does not determine the profit. I love the way I put it. Yes. Really, fish does not determine profit. Why am I saying that? Just like the analogy I gave earlier. There are farmers who stock 500 pieces of fish and make profit. There are others that can stock 22,000 pieces of fish, just like my person here said. You can stock 22,000 pieces of fish and still not make profit. You see, what's the difference? One person is doing the business, the other person is saving. But there are things that really affect it, and these things are how you manage the fish and how you manage the management system. So it's not only about managing fish, the managing system of the business. And what I just said, welcome, good to see you, Bulus Chaka. Good to see you, Bulus Chaka. The point I'm driving here, this first point I'm driving at, is to tell you, because if you understand what I'm saying here, you will understand that it is not the fish that determines the profit, it is the fish farmer. That's the point I'm driving at. How does the fish farmer determine the whether it's going to make profits? Is management style. That's just it. Is management style. Because you're going to buy fingerlings, you're going to buy feed, you are going to, yes, you see this question too. Okay, so okay, I see these clarifications from you Usmanagoro. Usmanagoro, where are you from again? Where are you from again? Are you the one from Kenya? No, Young Lewis was from Kenya. Let me know where you are joining from, Usmanagoro. I was talking about scaling to that amount. Good. Of course, I started small and used the money to expand gradually and eventually land on a lot of fish. That's the way forward. Nice one right there. Nice one. So is fish farming, this is another question. Is fish farming still profitable in 2026 compared to 5 years ago? So because this is what we'll be dealing with today, I first want to let you know that the cost of production 5 years ago was very low. I mean, compared to what we have today. But can I also shock you? The price with which fish was sold 5 years ago was not the same that it was today. But now, we may now need to consider that the rate at which the cost of production increase, is it the same rate with which the sales price are increasing? That's another ball game entirely. Are you getting what I'm saying here? Because do you know, really, farmers, a lot of farmers focus on the technical side, like the fingerlings, which is good. It's good to make sure that you buy good fingerlings. If you know me well on this channel, that's one of the things I would advocate, because that's where it starts. Good fingerlings, good feed, good water management, and all of that. Yes. But that's what many people focus on, and they overflog it. Do you know that there are some people that are doing these things well, but they now begin to ignore things like cash flow? They begin to ignore, they don't know that they are not doing themselves a good service, but they are ignoring cash flow, they are ignoring marketing, they are ignoring cost control. What do I mean by that? There is something you can do on that your farm to reduce your cost of production. These things I'm saying are the things that really make room to ensure you make profit in your farming business. Yes, because when you add all of these things that I'm talking about and that I'm going to be mentioning into your fish farming game, into your biotechnical game of getting good juveniles, feeding well at the right time, getting good water, feeding well, if you now add marketing to it, good marketing to it, if you add cost control to it, one of the things you can do for cost control is that whenever you have the opportunity to buy in bulk, you don't need to buy too much so that your money is not tied down. Okay, there's a way to manage this, and I'll explain all of this. But then what am I saying? Ensure that you put structures that will make you reduce your costs. I'm saying that you have to be very intentional about your pricing strategy. That somebody is selling at a particular price does not mean that you should sell at a particular price. You see, this question says, what margin can a beginner expect in the first year? Do you see? There is no direct answer to this. The reason is because this question came right in time while I was explaining this. Because for you to determine the profit, of course, you want to have a good profit margin, also cost of production. That's why your pricing strategy is important. That's why there is a model to which you find your customers, which may not be the way that everyone does. Because if you do it the same way everybody is feeding the market, if you do it the same way people are feeding the market, you may be competing with their market. Your fish may be ready at the same time. So what am I saying? I am saying that beyond your fingerlings, good water, good feed, and everything, ensure that you have good marketing. Ensure that you have a way controlling cost. I've mentioned one of them. One of them is that you also keep record, because one of the things record does is that it puts the people and those on the farm into check. It's a way of making them to be disciplined to what they do. Even yourself, when you know you have to fill a record, even for the sake of the record, there are routines you will not miss on your farm, and those routines are the basic things that makes for success in fish farming. They make for profit in fish farming. Okay, it is people that don't do these things that I've explained: marketing, cost control, record keeping, pricing strategy, find a way to acquire your own market that is for you. It's people that don't do these ones, but they do the other ones well: good feed, good fish, good water management. They do those ones well, but they don't do these other ones that I mentioned well. They now wonder that why they not making profit. They should wonder, but the reason is that they did not know. They do not know that there is something that they should be doing. Why are many farmers not making money? There are things that are causing it. It's because, just like I said about marketing, they are starting things without finding a market. The time to get your see, these are the things. If fish farming will be profitable to you in 2026, and you will see where this is tilting towards, it is that fish farming may lead to loss even in 2026. And I am saying that even in 2026, fish farming may lead to profits. But there are things that determine whether it will lead to profit or whether it will lead to loss. I just gave some of the things that will make it lead to profit. And it is, I'm giving a recap, and it is that having done all the interesting thing about the fish, having putting it in place, there are other things you need to put in place. I am saying that after having good quality juveniles, good feed and feeding well, after having good water quality and managing mortality well, preventing mortality and doing all of that, there are some other things you need to do. You have to find your own market. You have to find your own customers. You don't always have to deal with the customers that everyone around you are dealing with. Yes, I say that you have to make sure that there are things, structures you must put in place that will control your price, so that your cost of reduction will not be too high, and you want to maintain cash flow. One of the ways to maintain cash flow in fish farming is that you want to ensure that you do serial stocking. It means that you want to stock 22,000 of fish. I like that example. You do not stock 22,000 at once. How about saying, let me stock 2,200 pieces every month, such that after the first 4 months, I know that money is coming into the farming business every month. Yeah, that's cash flow right there. It's not that you will keep spending money every day on the farm and then you will sell, make your harvest one day or in 1 week, and then after then money doesn't come in, the money keeps going out. No, you put it in a serial production, such that money goes out but money still keeps coming in. And I told you about a reality that it is about marketing. You don't find the market after you have stocked the fish. There are situations where people find market, and in many cases people get to sell fish, but you are in a better condition, a better position to to do your to do your pricing well if you find your market way before harvest. The best time to secure a market is before your fish is ready. Do you know the most appropriate time to find your market is when you begin before you begin the farming cycle? Yes, that's just it. So you see, can you now see that if you begin to look at the things I'm saying, you will see that these are the set of people that make money, that can make money, or that fish farming is still profitable for in 2026. And you'll be able to dissect and see that for this set of people in 2026, fish farming is no longer profitable to them. I'm saying to you that in 2026, there are two types of fish farmers. That whether fish farming is profitable in 2026 depends on which category a farmer is. Are you on the category of those who will make profit in 2026? Because believe me, of the truth, there are some people will make profit in fish farming in 2026. Some people are making. And guess what? Some people will lose money in 2026 in fish farming. And guess what again? Some people are losing money in fish farming in 2026. But what are the realities? These are the things I'm mentioning. And there is another reality. And there is another reality. It's not about how many you stocked. It's about how much profit you gained. You see, yes, you see, many people have heard that fish farming is a game of numbers. But if you are not making profit, fish farming is not a game of numbers. I am telling you that fish farming is only a game of numbers for those who are making money in their farming business. If you are not making money, what I'm trying to tell you is that you should not do it, not do too much. Don't do too much. If you see that you are not making profit, first concentrate on the things you need to do to make, and those are the things we have been discussing. I want your questions to keep coming. This question says, how long does it usually take to recover the initial investment? Okay, of course, there are factors that will determine this. It depends on what value chain are you talking about. Fish farming, if you are farming fresh fish, in some case, it depends on the level of investment. If your investment level is high, the payback period may be higher than when the investment is low, if the capital with which you invest is high. So it could be about, some payback period is about 1.3 years, 1.5 years, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. It depends on many things, but one of the major things it depends is on the level of investment. I'm saying the person who invested so much may actually need a number of years for the payback period, for him to recover all that he have invested, or that they have invested. Okay. And another thing that depends on it is how the business is well managed. And this one can never be underemphasized, because it is one thing to do a business plan, to do everything, and then have um have the payback period based on analysis that maybe arrive to the best of workings and findings. And that payback period says that this business will recover their money back and recover the initial investment back in the next 7 years, or let's say 5 years. You see, can I say something? If the farmers or those who are managing that business do not manage it well, like a business should be, do you know that that payback period will be longer? I'm telling you, I have seen fish farms that never even recover their payback period. They never recover their investments. But thank God you are hearing this kind of valuable information. If you put these things into consideration, I want to challenge everyone. If you are on this live session, or you are watching this at any point in time and you've not watched the previous series we've been doing on this live session, we have talked about the business of fish farming. You see, they were deliberately aligned and structured. If you follow those live sessions, I'm telling you, hardly will you be able to make some irrelevant mistakes in fish farming. I'm telling you the truth, because we're so deliberate and we brought experts, industry experts, people who have results in those areas. I had my mentor that I respect so much, and honestly speaking, our guest on that session is the person who has taught me many and most of the things I know today in the business of fish farming. And we had him on the call, on the live session, and he dissected and gave us pure insights, secrets that many people have labored for decades on how to do the business of fish farming. I'm specifically recommending that video. Even if you were on that live session, go and watch it again. It will do something to you when you hear it over and over again. I'm telling you the truth. I myself, I go back to all of those sessions we have watched. We had the business of fish farming by when we had a guest, the MD of Overseas Aquatic Fisheries, Mr. Oluwasomi Samabiodun. We talked about the truths of fish farming. You know, many times on this channel, we have guest industry experts who have results, and sometimes I take time to drive it by myself. And we had another session where I drove it by myself and I dissected everything about the truth about fish farming, because there are hypes with fish farming. We looked at it. Are there hypes? And truly there are hypes. Are there information that people hear and they quickly run off with those information? They didn't calm down to first digest some things. Yes, those are the things we highlighted in those. Again, if you have not watched that session, go on this channel. We have home videos, live, go to live, watch all of them. What you see that video, the truth about fish farming, where we talked about all of the hypes. There is hypes about whether we should take this particular price and work with it alone. But I don't want to go into it. We already dealt with it. Today is for whether fish farming is profitable in 2026, and if it is profitable, what are the things that make it profitable? If it is not profitable, what are the things that make it not profitable? Because feed costs are rising every day. Okay. After that, we had another session where we talked about the business of fish processing, and we brought a person with track records and results with global relevance. We brought Tiki Yiha Tiki Fish. He is the Tiki of, popularly known Tiki of Tiki Fish Farm and Smokehouse. He on this session, he was a guest and he dissected. One thing I love about, I told him again when we were having another conversation just recently, that hey, I love how honest that conversation went. It was so honest, so ideal. You see, these are information that people are giving live freely. Things that people lose money for things that people gain over years and decades of experience. Okay. And last week again, we dealt about something interesting. Someone remind me what we discussed last week. But I drove it alone too. And again, today we are talking about an interesting thing. You see, these things are intentional. If we take all of these things back to back, just listen to those live sessions again, watch them again, and you will see the intentionality behind them and how these things are building up something for the success of your fish farming business. And guess what? The Pisces Academy Mentorship Program. Hey, some sessions may be live, but there are many sessions, a lot of sessions that are only secluded to register shortlisted participants. If you are part of that mentorship and you are in the official community already, engage in the chat. Let's hear from you, because it's going to be an amazing, and I want to congratulate every participant who made it to it. So, well, maybe if you are not shortlisted, you can join some of the, or have access to some of the live sessions, but we are going to, most of the sessions will be closed sessions in rooms that only registered participants that are shortlisted will be able to come in for many reasons. But trust me, we have many mentors in the international space, in the industry, with results that are coming to show you the way. They are coming to show you the way. They are coming to show you the way. What should a fish? What a very relevant question. What should a fish farmer do when feed prices increase sharply? Hey, this is very, very interesting here. Very interesting one. If feed price increases sharply, you see, farmers that are new in the game, do you know what they do? They panic. This is not the time to panic at all. This is the time to calm down. This is the time to pick your records, know how much you spent so far. This is the time to look at your market and say, is this market still available? This is the time to visit your pricing. This is the time to look at other options in the market. This is the time to say, do I need to sell off? Or some, do I need to re-strategize? Do I need to production plan? Do I need to adjust something? See, in the time where feed prices increase sharply, there are many things you need to do. You need to look at your budget. You need to look at your cash flow. You need to look at your funds. I love this question. I love these questions because these are the questions that make for thinking and for decision making in the business of fish farming. What a very amazing question. Thank you for asking that question because I couldn't have, said anything in this line. But what am I saying? Whenever there is the sharp increase in feed prices, don't rush to do what everybody is doing. Because do you know what some people do? Some people immediately, some people sell their fish immediately. Because there are some things that are opportunities for you to leverage on the market. You need to look at the festive, you need to look at the season. Is there a festive period coming that will attract a kind of size that you would have been producing in the next 1 month? You see, the interesting thing about answers to questions of real life situations is that some of these questions, the answer will be that it depends on some things. You see, people that, permit me to use the word, have shallow base in the fish farming, they don't like to hear that it depends on some things. But do you know that people that have seen in the business, they know that it truly depends on some things. If you get what I'm saying, can I have you in the conversation? Can you say something in the chat if you can relate what I'm saying? I have another question here. If feed prices increase, is the option of making your own feed viable? Hey, I have actually promised to do a video around this. There are a lot of questions. These questions I've received a lot, but because of many plannings, business requirements, the mentorship planning and sessions like this, I've not been able to, to just sit down and shoot that video on whether a farmer should start, because there are many questions about, should I start producing my fish on my farm or should I keep buying the feed. I'll tell you some things here, but because if I want to major on that alone, I'll be able to deal with every nook and cranny. I don't like to give half-baked information. Many reasons why some people make some mistake, remember the hype, is that they run with half information. So maybe I will find time in the next coming days this week to really do that video and put it. I promise I'm going to do that. I promise I'm going to do that so that I'll be able to express myself in that line and put into context so that nobody is confused, because these are not questions anybody should answer in 2 minutes if you really want people to understand it. So I'll dedicate a video and do that this week and post it on this channel. Please, I want you to watch out for it. So if feed prices increase, you see, if the feed prices increase, is the option of making your own feed viable? Yes, but on certain conditions. I'll tell you some here, but watch out for the full detail. Remember, don't work on half information, and I'll make sure to express any line of thought that I am saying here. If the feed prices increase, is the option of making your own feed viable? Yes, but not when you don't have the real information or the technical know-how of how to formulate good feed, or having somebody that really know how to do it. Formulation is more than people saying, okay, let's take GNC 50 kg, let's take maize 70 kg. They now say, the maize we have is 65 kg, 65 kg. Okay. Put the 65 kg, put soya 10 kg, add this. No. There are things beneath the surface that the eyes do not see. It's people that really understand. And we are actually planning a master class for feed formulation in 2020, in the month of September, for anyone. It's not for everybody. This is actually for anyone who wants to. It's going to be a physical session. And if for those who are in very far places or far countries who want to know how to formulate a feed, there will be arrangement for streaming where you can have full access. It's going to be a closed room actually for discussing about how to formulate fish feed. There is a way to formulate fish feed. There are lots of people putting ingredients together, and that's why their fish are not growing. They are just putting it together based on information they hear from people, that this is the ingredients that you put. You put maize, you put GNC, you put fish meal, you grind fish, you do this, just put 1 kg of methionine, put lysine. The information people are doing, and because they don't have the real information, they are doing things the wrong way. Okay, so one of the things that if fish price increase, I love this because it's now really Q&A, and that's what this is about. As long as it's geared towards us making profit in 2026, we must make profit really. Okay, that feed formulation. Another thing is that if your fish farming capacity is not huge, pay attention to this, because there are people, they are producing just a few number of fish, and they already considering producing their own fish feed. You can produce your fish feed. If you are producing your fish feed for the fish you are producing, it should not be a small capacity. If it's a small capacity, it will not justify the cost diesel or power. If it may not be diesel, it may be other source. That cost of power will not justify your profit, because you would have spent more. Remember the things I began by saying, there are things you should do in your farming business that will ensure that you reduce your cost of production. If you have a good, this is one of the ways to really make profit, because many farmers do not know that one of the ways that uh, uh, profit is being made in fish farming is that you cost down you reduce your cost of production. If you reduce your cost of production, your profit margin will be higher. Yes, that's it. You break even quickly, your profit margin will be higher. Okay, your profit margin will be higher. So that's what you want to look at. You want to begin to look at your capacity. Okay, you may have the money to purchase a machine and ingredients, but do you have the capital to maintain the cash flow of that business? Some people have the capital, because I mentioned earlier that it is more capital intensive to have a feed company than having a fish farm production or processing. You see, so but some people have that capital, then you now need to go into technicalities. Do you have the knowledge, or do you have access to those who have knowledge, or can you pay and afford those who have the knowledge, or are you willing to train to have the knowledge for doing? Because doing fish feed is not about, okay, we grinded it and then we pelletized it, or we extruded it and we have fish feed. No, there are things in that process that you must understand. If you don't understand the process, the true process of how fish feed should be made, you should not yet start doing fish by yourself. Because you should know that, why are we grinding? That a fish is consuming a feed does not mean that nutrients in that feed is available for the fish. So in the processing of fish feed, there are processes that must take place under certain conditions that will now ensure that, yes, this ingredient will be available for the fish when the fish consume it. So that when the fish consume that feed, is not only consuming junks or chaff, is actually consuming feed that will in turn get release nutrients to the body of the fish, and that the fish will convert to energy and become bigger. I'm telling you that, let me give you this illustration. Human being can eat things. Let's say you are eating rubber. You see, you are eating something that is bulky, but it's not giving you nutrients. You ate it, it filled your belly. There's a possibility that you've ate something that filled you, got you filled, but it's not releasing nutrients to you. So, if the process of fish feed production is not well and properly done, the fish will end up consuming the fish, especially some kind of fishes. Anything you give them, they will eat. But hey, they just consumed it. The nutrients may, in some cases, there are not enough nutrients in that feed. In some other cases, there are nutrients in the feed that are not available to the fish. They are available in the feed, but the fish cannot have access to that nutrient. Why? Because some things went wrong in the processing of the feed. Maybe while the feed was being weighed. First, maybe while the feed was being formulated. Secondly, maybe while the feed was being weighed. Thirdly, maybe while the feed was being grinded or crushed. Or fourthly, maybe why the feed ingredients were being pulverized into the powdery form. Some people do not even pulverize. And hey, this is a very important step if you are producing feed for fish. Some people don't cook the fish. Imagine you as a human being, you are eating some kind of ingredients that needs to be cooked, but you are eating it raw. The nutrients will not be available to you because certain bonds need to be broken, and they can only be broken in the place of heat. Sometimes not just heat, the heat must be at certain levels. See, what I'm showing you is one of the reasons that many farmers do not make profit, and they don't know. If you want to hear more about this thing, that's why I say, you see, just about feed, I'm saying so much. That's why I say I'll dedicate a whole video. Everything I was saying in that video will be centered about this particular question. Yes. How can farmers reduce feed costs without affecting growth? Yes, I mentioned it earlier. I believe this question came in while I was answering it earlier. What growth rate should farmers expect under good management? So this is also relative. Excuse me. This is also relative because what good management means to this person is not what it means to another farmer. Okay? And it's all based on management. So if you say based on good management, I will still ask it, in what context? In what context? In what context? Growth rate, because so it's not only good management now. Some things are actually limited to your environment. When I say environment, because some people are, should I use the word lucky to have access to ponds where they have good water. Some people do not have the best of water, but they are trying their best to have good management. Do you see where I'm coming from now? That's why I would not want to give you a figure to say, hey, this growth rate, this growth rate, this growth rate, this growth rate, this growth rate. But what are the things that are obtainable in 2026? I can tell you for a fact that in 2025, see, in 2025 and 2026, we are talking about 2026. Because see, 10 years ago is not what it used to be. I remember when a fish feed, a bag of fish was 6,500, 500, 3,000, 250. Yes. And a bag of feed now is about 30 something thousand. A bag of feed now is about 67,000. A bag of 2 feed is not less than 60,000 naira. Can you imagine? And just some years ago, it was just 3,500 naira, 3,250. Less than that if we go down the line. So what am I saying? I'm telling you that yes, in 20, the reality is that the margins are tighter, is that fish is more expensive. I'm saying that yes, in reality, the competitions are much, because the number of people that are into fish farming in 2016, then many people were not doing fish farming, but now much more people are doing fish farming. I hope I'm not missing. Okay, I'm seeing questions. I'll get to that quickly. In 2016, which was just ago, the number of people in business were not much as people who are inside the business today. The feed is not more, the feed was less expensive than it is today. And guess what? The customers that are buying fish, they are getting more smarter. This is one important thing. Oh. That's why fish farmers who are producing too must get smarter. Not because you want anyone of profit, but you want to position yourself well. You don't want to cheat anyone, but you also want to make good money. I'm telling you for a fact that there are a group of persons value chain who are trying to master their art well to ensure that they never go into loss, and they are doing certain things that is making it work for them. They are doing certain things that is making it work. That is why every fish farmer must be very intentional. I'm telling you here, I'm saying that everything requires more strategy. You have to be very deliberate, you have to be very intentional. You have to be very intentional. I'm telling you that the farmers of 2026, no, let me not say the farmers, because everybody who is farming is a farmer. The successful farmers in 2020, this is it. Oh, this is one of the key in this conversation today. The successful farmers in fish farmers in 2026 are not the farmers who are doing the science of farming well. They are farmers who are making the best decision. If you understand what I just said, you will know that what I'm talking about is that you always need to get more strategy for your farming business. And what are we concentrating on? How you sell to make more profit. You have to position your way and your market in such a way that you are not caught off guard. There are secrets we have revealed in this channel about how to sell, what size of fish to sell at what time, how to, you know, position your sales with the right timing. See, if you can get this and what I'm saying, your profit will be consistent. Your profit will be consistent. I want to see more questions from the chat. But I want you to know, I'm trying to pull up the chats from a larger screen. Yes. The question says that what technologies are improving fish farming profits in 2026? So, the technologies that I want us to focus on as this particular conversation is concerned is not really physical technology. The technology is a technology, is the technology of decision making. Decision making. It's a technology of decision making. A technology of decision making. Dear farmers, dear aspiring farmers, dear practicing farmers, dear experienced farmers, dear business owners, if you can master how to make decision in the business of fish farming, then you have mastered how to make profit in the business of fish farming. Yes, I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. Because by making decisions, you will see and you will know that this information, and that's where record comes in. There is nobody that makes good decision that will joke with keeping record, because it's your record that will show you. Record. Successful fish farmers and record, they are 5 and 6. They don't joke with it. And Another thing I want to let you know, I like to use that word technology. Just like this person say, what are the technologies for improving fish farming profits? One of these is best decision making. Do you know another one? Consistency. There is something about consistency in fish farming that I tell you, the farmers that make good profits, they they are the consistent farmers. If you are doing something one or two, you won't get extraordinary results. No, the ones that get extraordinary results, there are some things they are doing consistently. I I told you in my book, Feeding Errors That Slow Down um the growth of your fish, I dedicated one chapter to talking about consistency, and I explained how routine is king in fish farming. Hey, if you can master consistency, there is money in consistency as far as fish farming is concerned. I'm telling you the truth. Be- because people want extraordinary results, but they are not ready to be consistent with things. No, in fish farming, it does not work that way. To get extraordinary results, you have to be consistent with certain things. Yeah, the money is in consistency. Is in consistency. And I want to say another one, and this is one of the biggest technology. You see, I love Q&A sections because they bring context to things. You know why? Technologies. What are the technologies for improving fish farming profit? I just found this in the chat. And you know one technology in relationships. This is another big secret that many farmers, especially beginner farmers, do not know. If you are a beginner farmer here, take this information for good. If you apply it, you begin to scale up with speed. One of the secrets, and is a technology for improving profits in fish farming, is relationship. You must leverage on relationship. I'm saying that if there's any farmer that bought from you that did well, I mean bought from you, and you notice that your spirit aligns, do I mean by that? There was peace such that this farmer was not trying to cheat you. You know, everything is going well. The farmer, all of from the moment you were discussing about the sales, everything went well. They are not people who are looking for ways to cheat you, to say do this, do this, do this. They want to make their profit. They also want you to make their profit. Don't joke with such farmers, and don't joke with the referrals that will come from them. I'm telling you, there's something about relationship. And then, do you know, talking about relationship, one of the ways to secure market is from a farmer colleague. Or hey, don't limit yourself to only the farmers you know by yourself. Build relationship with other farmers, some in your locality, some outside your locality. I've said this again and again, and I'll keep saying it. In the year 2026, you have to have a good and deliberate social media presence. Be intentional about it. Have good social media presence. See, you may not be the person that will be able to do YouTube and Facebook and TikTok and Instagram. No. Do you know that in 2026, marketing has changed? The way to market your fish business has changed from what it was in 2016. That's why I told you that the strategy must change. The people buying fish from you, they are adapting. Oh. Are you adapting? That's the question. I I hope somebody is taking what I'm saying very serious. Because to some people it looks simple, but these are the things that has not made some people to make good profits in their fish farming business. How well can you position yourself? How well do people not, is it that people are hearing about that which you are doing, but they are not really people who are in your area of interest, who are in the field of what you are doing, or who are the people buying the size of fish you are rearing, all the species of fish fish you are rearing. You are rearing tilapia fish now, and then the market you keep posting your things on is the market of those who are doing catfish. You may be there for relevance if you still want to produce catfish or you want to connect, but or you still want to post to, you know, put your cast your bread on many waters. But do you know where you be marketing on, where you will be seen? Are you sure you are being seen in the right places? That's the question I'm asking a farmer today, or an aspiring farmer. Are you prepared to be seen where you are required to be seen? Are you oh my god, I mean, let's say this guy has an headache now. You see, let's say this guy has an headache and this guy comes to him to market a product to him. Or say, let me say you have headache, you not have headache. Let's say, or maybe you are having some stress, this is stress, you have some pain, and you need a pain relief. And now, this guy is selling a pain relief to you. Meanwhile, you are having a pain relief. This other guy here is selling a multivitamin to you. You see, this one you need a pain relief. This one you also need a multivitamin. But at the moment where you need a pain relief, do you buy multivitamin or you buy a pain relief? Let's have it in the comments. You see, in fact, for the want of time, you buy the pain relief because at that point, it's not like you don't need multivitamin, but at that time, you need a pain relief immediately, instantly. That is how you should treat marketing. What you are selling, you have to put it in the face of people that once they see it, they are not buying it because they are helping you. They are buying it because it is solving their problem at that need. Somebody wants to do pepper soup and all of the people around him is selling smoked fish size, which is smaller than the pepper soup size. You see, the moment somebody shows in their face that pepper soup size available, the person will rush it. And vice versa. And vice versa. Wow, where is the time running to? We'll begin to round up now. Especially if there are no questions. What new technologies are improving fish farming? And these are the things that I have just, I've just been explaining. And where is the money? I've told you where the money is. I've told you that the money is consistency. I've told you, I began by showing you how the money is in marketing. I've shown you how the money is in relationships. I've shown you how the money is in consistency. That people that have make profits and are successful in the farming business, in the fish farming business, there are things that they do every day. There is a power in consistency as long as fish farming and the business of fish farming is concerned. You must be consistent. If you want extraordinary results, you will be consistent. People who are not consistent, they want extraordinary results, but they are really not consistent. It doesn't happen that way. It doesn't really happen that way. Okay? And can I tell you where last the money is? Before I tell you where last the money is, I want to quickly answer this question. Just so pop up in the chat. Are bioflux systems worth the investment? Hey, I wanted to do something. Okay, now you see. You see now. The moment I say that we'll keep rounding up, then you will now see many questions popping up. And I've answered them because I love these questions. Are bioflux systems worth the investment? Yes and no. I'm just so being real. Come on. Can I be very real with you? It depends on where you are doing the system. There are some systems, and okay, good for talking about. I now like to relate. The question I answered about improving fish farming profits with new technologies before, I took it from the perspective of non-physical technologies like decision making, consistency, relationships, marketing. You see, but now let me go in the perspective of assets, physical assets. Do you know that there are technologies and physical technologies that will not work in certain environments based on certain reasons that are peculiar to them? For instance, in some countries in Africa, because there is no stable electricity, there has been a limitation to some kind of systems. Meanwhile, this does not totally justify that when there are big scale that people who are doing it will not make profit. Do you understand? So you really need to understand that system very well before you will be able and look at your environment very well and put a number of other things in place to be able to see if it is worth the investment. Hey, you know why I love these questions? They are so in line with whether someone, a fish farmer, will make profit in 2026. These are the things to consider. These are the things because you see, the UK aquaculture um, conference held just few weeks ago. Was it last week or thereabouts? And I have, I personally know some who attended, and in fact, my mentor was there too. And do you know one of the things he saw was that there are systems, many that we know of, and some that are new innovations in the aquaculture industry that we love, but currently are truly not obtainable in some climes in Africa based on certain things. Do you know that markets are different? Do you know that access to maintenance are different? There are some things we want to maintain that we really cannot maintain here. See, this is just a tip of an iceberg of this. Maybe another day we will come to talk about. I think we should do that. Oh, hey, see, the Prices Academy mentorship program is loaded though. If you have been privileged to be part of it, don't miss any session because these are the things that will be discussed. I love how how Diary of a Farmer's Daughter says, true. It means you caught something. Yes, I love how you say, true. That's just it, really. That's just it. That's just it. There's another question. How do you see fish farming industry in the next 5 years? Woo, woo, woo. To be honest with you, I am very optimistic about the fish farming industry. There are things I'm seeing, there are trends I'm seeing that are already changing the narratives. Do you know conversation we are having has actually not been done? There are things that are not being done that we have been doing now, and I'll begin to round up in a few seconds. There are things we are doing now. There are things people are interested in doing now that have not been done. Things like these conversations, things like coming together, things like sharing valuable knowledge. You see, things like, do you know people are on this live session and are committed to hear things like this? Some other people just want to hear this, watch comedy and while away the time, which is good. But then, in your area of interest, we want to build up, we want to build capacity. We don't want to joke with information and what is at stake. Look at the kind of questions coming in: technologies, improving profit, investment, and all of this. So, you see, based on these things and based on what we are raising, see, in the Prices Academy mentors, anyone who is going through if you are in this live session and you are not part of it and you want to be part of it, please message me directly. The my personal line is in the description of this video. Also, I mentioned my book earlier. How to get my book is in the description of this video, whether ebook or hard copy. Click the link and you will get it. All right, so I'm saying one of these things that mentorship is also doing, because of that and many registrations and the interest of people, we went through applications and then we scrutinized them and we saw how people were interested. You see, that shows me that in the next 5 years, if we do going, believe me, we will take. Josiah Bejinga says, I came late today. The replay will be available. Don't miss it. There were a lot of important things you don't want to miss. Trust me. Yeah. So I'm saying another thing that makes me sure in the next 5 years, it's going to be really amazing. It's because of what we are building. You see, come out of that mentorship program, you'll be surprised at yourself and what you'll be building. What single factor separates profitable fish farmers from those who fail? Knowledge. You see, I mentioned earlier that I want to talk about one of those technology, and this is it. Where is the money in fish farming? Is fish farming still profitable? Yes, the money is in knowledge. Is fish farming still profitable? To some people, no, it's no more profitable. Where is the loss? The loss is in knowledge. See what you know. That's why I don't joke with these things like this. Don't joke when you now find knowledge or the right source. Please run from the fake ones, because they have a way of polluting your mindset. They have ways of polluting your knowledge base. Don't joke with your knowledge. When you have a source for good knowledge, don't joke with your knowledge. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, no, we don't have 1 hour. I'm rounding up now. Let's end this session, except you have questions. If you don't, I think this is as I said at the beginning, this is going to be a very brief session. And well, we are above 1 hour, so it's a good time to stop. But I can give a recap to you. What are the technologies? The technologies, hey, I gave you the technologies. I say the money is in marketing, the money is in consistency. How can you be consistent about some things if you want extraordinary results? The money is in relationships. Aye, the money is in relationships. And I told you the money is in knowledge. Don't joke with these things. Don't joke with these things. Do you have more questions? This is the time where I want to see your images. I want to see, have you learned anything? I want to know if you've learned anything. Also, if you are on this call, you've not subscribed to this channel, no, you are wrong. Please subscribe to this channel. After this session, you want to share this link to everyone. Yes, networking, good. That's what you've learned. Networking. What advice would you give someone with limited capital who wants to start a fish farming? The advice I'll give this kind of person is to leverage on the distribution channels. And what do I mean by that? There is a lot of money that is left on the table in distribution channel. So if you have low capital or limited capital, says you necessarily don't have to produce. Don't produce. You are not the one that should produce. Just find those that are producing and find those that are buying. Sell to them. See, do you know what I just said to you? These people in some cases make more money than those who produce. If you have low capital, your priority should not be into production. Your priority should not be in production. If you have little capital, don't use that money to produce few products. No, use that money to get those products, maybe dried products or even fresh products. You will need low capital. So with low capital, let me give you an instance. In processing, you buy, or you offtake. Sometimes you may even just take it and not buy. Then you sell, return money, make your profit. You see, and you can buy, sell, make your profit, make more money, buy again, and do that. I know many people using this model. They are not producing. Okay, another is you can buy in bulk at farm gate price, which is lower price, and sell at retail to those selling pepper soup, those doing barbecue, and all of that. Another option is that buy, says, for instance, maybe you are doing barbecue, you are doing pepper soups, you make more money because farm gates are usually cheaper than when you cook, when you do them into grills, when you process your fish and all of that. Do you see now? Do you know that there are buyers of fresh fish that don't like going to the farm because they want uniform size? This is where middleman comes in. The middleman goes to the farm, secures the deal. The middleman knows the market, knows many farmers who wants to sell. They get the market, gets the fish, and they sell to the buyer. And hey, they make commission on every kilogram. They make more money, and they even deliver sometimes. Sometimes they don't deliver. They just take them to the farm. This is what make the deal, take their cut, and make more money. So the advice I'll give to someone with low capital who wants to start fish farming is, if it is little or no capital, should focus on the distribution channel. Yeah. distribution channel. Someone says no, you don't want us to go. Actually, we have to go, but hey, do you know why we have to go? Because there's always next week. So we'll catch you. It's every Sunday 6 p.m. West African time. Yeah, so if you have learnt anything, let me know. Even if you haven't, let me know whatever if contributions, adjustments, additions, subtractions, perspectives, please bring it on as we begin to round off this session. And I want to appreciate everyone for engaging. So this is another one. A lot of people talk about starting small in the business, but how small is small to make it worthwhile in the business? Okay, I love these questions because it's just a very realistic question. So if we are talking about fish farming now, you want to raise, um say you want to raise fish, you want to rear fish, you can actually, it depends on maybe what you have access to. If you are starting with a small tank in your house and you are depending on the water that you use in your, as for domestic things, like you use it for drink and domestic purposes, washing things and all of that, and you don't want conflict, you don't want conflict with water use, you can just start with a 1000 liter or 2000 liter capacity. uh, 50 liters on the 100 liter, 200 liters capacity drums. Those are not for farming fish. They are not for farming fish. So for farming fish, at the least anyone should start with is a tank of 1000 liters. So if you put these things together, which I may be doing very soon to help people, you may be able to start with 200,000. You may start with 1000. You know, you may start with a few thousands, less than 100, less than 200,000, to start small with, So if we are saying starting small, how small is small? Small is not that you should, because some people see as small is the container they are doing in. They do 200 pieces of fish in a small container. That is starting wrong, because your stocking density is wrong. It's wrong. It's entirely wrong. And very soon too, I'll be doing a detailed video on stocking density, so that everybody at every point in time can easily calculate stocking density, because there are many mistakes people are doing all about the place about stocking density. They will just say this is the stocking density for fish. They have forgot that it's different from medium to medium. The stocking density a a in an earthen pond is not the same stocking density in surface ponds like tarpaulin pond or concrete tank. The system is different. Maybe you are using green water system in your concrete tank. What it can accommodate is more different from what you can do in a tarpaulin pond. But many people generalize and they don't see certain results. They will end up saying they don't make profit. It's because they don't know certain things. They don't know that from the beginning they made the wrong decision by overstocking. I tell you, many farmers are overstocking in fish farming than they know. They don't know. Many farmers are overstocking because the fish wants to grow. They are having the feed, but they don't have enough space. Hi. Many people don't know these things, and it's a secret. So the way to start small is not by starting with small container. It's by starting right. It doesn't have to be big. So I've said you can start with 100 fish, 200 fish, 500 fish. Nobody starting for the first time should start more than 1000 pieces. You are stocking for the first time. I don't know how much you have. But I'm definitely putting this out. If you have much more, start. Even if you want to build a big one, start with a pilot scheme. Have a 1000 piece. Do it first. You necessarily don't have to start. You can start with 100, 200, but that's the question. I believe I've done justice to that. If otherwise, let me know. Starting small in the business, how small is small to make it worthwhile in the business. So if you're starting small with 100 pieces, I want you to know that your focus is actually not profit for that first cycle. Yes, remember you'll be getting assets, but The profit you'll be getting is knowledge. Remember what I said as the final technology I gave. The money is in knowledge. So that first cycle that you are investing in, you are investing in your knowledge. Hi, that's where the money is. It is as if you are putting money inside knowledge. So I'm saying that that first cycle, you may not really make profit. You may break even. You may break even, but not make good profit. But just know, and when you break even, I'm not in operational cost into factor. Yeah, I like that. Yes. That yes, see, I like when engagements are coming. That yes shows me that you get what I'm saying. Yes. So um that puts it into context to let us know, and that's good. So do you get what I'm saying here? Do you get what I'm saying here? So when you start small, it does not mean you start with small containers. It does not mean you start um wrong. Starting small means starting right, and starting small means you do not always want to focus on big profits to begin with. And the knowledge you now get from those are the things that make you make better profits as you go along the line. Thank you very much for joining today. I want you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't. This is for me a very amazing session. It looks like very few minutes to me actually, but this is relevant. Yeah, good to see your reactions. And this is where we will pull up the curtains today. And after this, I want you to share. Good to see your reactions. I want to share this um the link of this channel with a farmer. Let them know that there is a move. Let them know there is something interesting going on, and that you want them to benefit with. All grow together. Yes, good to see your emojis. Good to see your emojis. You know, sometimes on this live session, I don't want to go too. I just enjoy the conversations, especially when there are conversations around this. I don't want to go too, but we have to go because they're losing next week, and I want to tell us a story. Thank you, Mr. Taiwo. Thank you too. Thank you too. Thank you too. Blessings to you all. Thank you for coming, and this is where we'll pull the curtains of today. Thank you, young Lewis. Thank you for engaging. If you are still on this call, you should be engaging too. You should be engaging. Hit the like button if you haven't hit the like button, and you want to share this, just take a random video on this channel, send to people. Let's have a move of people who are doing fish farming the right way, people who are driving aquaculture, so that, like that question came, in the next 5 years we will all see ourselves. Maybe one of these days we'll meet, have an engagement. Good to have you, make farms. We'll have an engagement, maybe have a get together, have, this vibe beyond us seeing virtually. Very soon maybe we'll meet, and build on our networks, build on the access we have. And I want to encourage anyone for the Pisces Academy Mentorship Program. It's a platform for access. I tell you the truth. You begin to see when we begin to roll out the announcements for mentors, you will see the caliber of people. You'll be privileged to have access, and not only that, they'll give information how to network, how to find opportunities, how to do business the right way. Many things, many things. Good to see you, Joyous Paul. Good to see you. Thank you, sir. You're welcome. Thank you too for coming. I'm glad to see every one of you. I keep saying we are pulling up the curtain, and this is how we should do that. Thank you for coming to today's live session Q&A with your fish expert, where we dealt with whether fish are profitable in 2026. Where is the money? And I've shown you where the money is. This replay will be available, and I want you to watch it over and over again. Thank you for coming. I remain your humble host, Taiwo James Isaac, and I am your fish expert.